Strikes rage on, concerns over the Eurozone debt crisis have returned to the forefront. Markets were already unsettled after European finance chiefs put off a decision on granting Greece its next installment of bailout funds. The looming US fiscal cliff is adding to the market uncertainty. Amid lingering global economic risks, the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, Christine Lagarde, has called on global policymakers to take firm action. Speaking to Channel Newsasia's Malaysia Bureau Chief Melissa Goh, the IMF chief started off by commenting on the possibility of Greece avoiding a sovereign default.
Avoid it? It's a question of collective resolve. It's a question of, as I said, expeditious, comprehensive, cooperative solutions.
Fiscal cliff you mentioned that US is facing. Do you think that will a deal be reached by the end of this year?
I think the striking of a deal would have a boosting effect on the economy, despite the fact that the looming uncertainty that we have been suffering in the US economy has probably set expectations, a mindset which has not been conducive to massive investment decisions, for instance. The sooner the better, and we at the IMF have been saying that for quite a while, because it's not just the fiscal cliff in and of itself, or the debt ceiling as a cap, but it's the uncertainty that surrounds it, and the climate in which investments are decided, employments are confirmed, that really are affected by this uncertainty.
Let's take a look at Asia. The major economies like China, India and Japan are seeing a deepening or sharpening economic slowdown. What's your prognosis?
It's clearly in this part of the world that there is a growth engine that is working, and that is working faster, better and in a more sustainable fashion than in advanced economies. So I'm fairly upbeat and optimistic about Asia in general. We have a degree of uncertainty that has been removed out of China now that the new team is confirmed, and there are potential reforms in India which are quite promising from a general business climate perspective, and the mere announcement of those potential reforms has already boosted the business climate in general.
Now, what are some of the lessons that you think Asian economies like Malaysia and Singapore can draw from the European crisis?
I think that there are three lessons that can be learned. One is in the present state where there is very rapid connections and spreading of the crisis, the response has to be very expeditious. You have to really be ahead of the curve, and massively ahead of the curve, in order to deal with the crisis. That's number one, expeditious treatment. Number two, it has to be comprehensive. It cannot be just one country dealing with that issue. When the crisis begins, it has to be comprehensive because everybody is concerned. And three, it has to be cooperative in the sense that not one country or one region in isolation can deal with a severe crisis of that nature. It has to be a cooperative, multilateral response.
What will you describe as the largest possible stresses on global economy in 2013?
The failure of policy decision makers to actually act, ACT, because I believe that there has been a lot of talk and thought given to what are the right decisions. There's been a lot of talk and thought about the implementation path. What is needed now is action.